Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today we have a special Cubic Games breakdown of deals under $10, or of course your local currency. Cubic, they were kind enough to sponsor this video, but they did give me free reign over which games I could cover and the opinions I give, as you should very much expect from the channel. It was an easy decision though, honestly, considering, I've covered a lot of these before. This will not be replacing our full eShop breakdown though, that will still be dropping later today, and I'll be linking it at the end of this video once it is live. Just consider this a bonus episode. Also then, Cubic, they have a ton of competitions on right now to celebrate Black Friday season, so I'll break that down later in the video. So with that luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So this promo, first off, it's bringing together titles from Cubic Games, All In Games and Clubata, and I'm kicking things off with one of the bigger deals, Decks, with a new all-time low rocking 60% off. If you like cyberpunk and RPG gameplay, this is definitely gonna be worth a look. Decks just excels in its world creation, and it surprised me with the level of detail they achieved in this 2D pixel style world. It's also a lot bigger than I expected, and the average run here, you're looking at easily over 10 hours of gameplay. Expect here though the usual RPG experience. I think leveling up, adding skills, new augmentations, multiple ways to play, maybe your stealth, maybe your focus on strength, and then of course the story. The story is the best bit. Think branching conversations and a non-linear path. Just elevate this one, and it's well respected for a reason. Nothing quite beats that sleazy cyberpunk tone for intrigue, and Decks knows this with some seriously mature themes. Blazing Beaks, then, always a favourite of mine to throw in a deals video, and while it's not a new all-time low, it's not far off, and honestly the game's worth full price, never mind this 86% off. If you like the roguelike genre though, and you like twin stick shooting, you really do owe it to yourself to add this one to your library. As you would expect with the genre, face run after run, try to reach the end and die more than a few times, all while of course leveling up and just getting better. The standout area though with this one, loot. Loot's important, but it's a whole mechanic in itself with this one. Here you see the loot destroys you, it debuffs you, and the more you get, the weaker you become. You need to grab loot and sell it quick for items and perks that actually help you. So will you be greedy and survive the run to that next shop, or will that greed be your demise? Not the longest of games, but plenty to come back for thanks to 8 playable characters, a couple of modes, and then 4-player local support. By far the best way you can play this one. Big Pharma, now a new all-time low of 80% off, and if you watch this channel you'll probably know I picked this up in the last sale. I'm a fan of strategy builders like your 2 Point Hospital, Rollercoaster Tycoon, Jurassic World and so on. This one, it was very much an easy decision. Now though, it's even cheaper than what I paid. The pharmaceutical theme definitely separates this one out from the pack, and the depth is seriously impressive, if a little overwhelming to begin with. It quickly throws you into not only the financials, but think the marketing, the facilities, the research, the development. It has it all. The whole pharmaceutical setting as well, for me, it raised some ethical questions, shall we say, which definitely caught me off guard. This release then bundles in all the DLC too, so you're getting a lot of gameplay for your cash. You could easily sink over 100 hours into this one. Just know, a lot of text. I'd suggest going docked with it personally. It can be a little on the small side handheld. So before we do keep this going, I just want to call out the competitions Cubic are running right now alongside these deals, and I'll keep it simple. It's free to enter, and you just need to check out the website for all the details. It's a simple form though. Basically, you'll have the chance here to win a personalized Nintendo Switch made by one of their artists, one of 10 eShop gift cards for €50 or dollars, and then they're also giving away 100 games. So yeah, 111 prizes in total, and I like those odds. Okay, so next up, while I talk moral decisions surrounding Big Pharma, very few games can match the internal arguments you will have while playing We the Revolution. It's for sure an acquired taste from the visual style to the gameplay loop, but here you're taking on the role of a judge during the French Revolution, and you'll need to basically dive into cases and then make a decision, make a call. Situations, they get seriously dark here. It definitely earns its mature rating, and you can expect a ton of moral dilemmas. That is a guarantee. If you do consider adding this one to the library, just know you gotta like your reading. There's a whole lot of text with this one. It does a great job of setting the scene with that text, but that's very much what the gameplay is. Read, evaluate, decide. You have the power though, and you choose how you leverage it. 76% off here marks a new all-time low, and for the right audience, this could definitely become one of your favorites. Red Wings Aces of the Sky is coming in then with 75% off, a new all-time low. The previous was 50%, so yeah, decent chunk of change. Not going to pretend it's deep, it's really not. The gameplay in fact is kind of repetitive at points, but if you like your arcade aerial combat games, that shouldn't come as too much of a surprise or really a problem. If you want to fly the legendary Red Baron and shoot stuff out of the air, this is going to be the game for you as you follow their rise and fall during the World War. I like this one for pick up and play moments, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. It's simple fun, fast paced, and the cartoon style visuals really do help. We don't see enough of the genre on the Switch though, so it's a welcome addition, and my favourite bit, it's got split screen local 2-player. Hyper Parasite now on another all-time low with a monster 80% off. This is a 80s infused horror roguelike with twin stick controls. It even has neon, and if you know me, you know the channel, you'll know that that gets it points in my book. What separates this one though from the crowd is its parasite function. Basically you can explore this world and then jump between different characters and making them hosts. There's 60 of them in the game and each of them have their own attacks, so it definitely makes for some fun experimentation. I wish they'd went just a little bit more all out on visuals and the 80s neon over the different locations, but it does mix things up often enough that you shouldn't find too much like visual burnout. Throw in then though a solid synthwave soundtrack, and this has a lot of things I like. Not the hardest of roguelites, but it's also not the easiest either. Just go in expecting the usual roguelite learning curve. Alright, so as always my pickups, and I have two, haven't played them, can't necessarily recommend them, but maybe you're going to want to join me for the ride. So first up I've got Farsis, and this is one I asked about in the growing SwitchCorner Discord, and there was some good feedback to its quality. I did download it there and then, and I've played it a little bit, but it seems decent if challenging so far is probably the best thing I can say. The eShop description was the thing that caught my eye initially. It starts with 3 simple yet disturbing words: space, dice, cannibalism, and yeah, put it out there now, that is definitely a first for a description. Expect here though a turn-based space survival strategy title that's set around a space crew that they're on the way to Mars to track a mysterious signal, and they of course get stranded in the process. Now they must try to survive, so that involves things like managing your crew, your ship, your resources, and that all of them builds into the role of digital dice, and I swear the dice hate me. This one seems extremely deep though, so I've included a link to a 6-minute gameplay trailer that Cubic put out in the description down below if you just want to get kind of a better grasp on the mechanics. This is though a new all-time low at 60% off. So our penultimate game of the video then, and another pickup for me, one I know near to nothing about honestly, but help will come tomorrow. It was 80% off, making it a steal, and the visuals, they remind me of that hand-drawn, Banner Saga style, which is never, let's face it, a bad thing. Reviews though for this one just all over the place. I've seen everything from 4s out of 10s to 8s out of 10s, with Met A Critic holding around the 70% mark, which is pretty good, but it's clearly not for everyone. The idea though, find yourself and a cast of 9 different characters stranded in the wilderness in the cold after an accident occurs aboard the Trans-Siberian Railway in 1917. Expect not only survival elements and resource gathering, but questions surrounding each character's past and their social class. I'm looking forward to this one, and the question comes up often, so I checked out Handheld very briefly. Seems to be a lot of text in this game, and I will say it's extremely sharp. I didn't struggle personally out of the 5 minutes I did check it out, but a few of the symbols a little challenging at times. I'll be sticking to docked personally, but I think it could also work handheld. So our final game then, Metamorphosis, and I reviewed this one on the channel. This takes the text of Franz Kafka, the Bohemian novelist, and does its best to bring that very text to a video game. This is combining elements of a number of his novels, and while it is high level, it's a fun and unique ride after you get transformed into a bug and now must explore this world and figure out basically what happened while solving puzzles, earning some, redemption along the way. I enjoyed the story, but I will say it wasn't quite as deep as I maybe went in expecting, but I guess that makes sense when you aim as high as Kafka as your source. What the game really comes down to though is a first person puzzle platformer, and the controls, I highlighted it in the review, really good. It's an ambitious game, this one, and not everything works. The frame rate will drop on occasion. I had an issue where I got stuck too, but I still enjoyed the ride and I gave it an above average 6 out of 10 on the channel. You can't deny the ambition with this one is all I will say. I did revisit it, and one thing I asked in my review was, can I justify the price? Now I think they just made that decision a whole lot easier by offering 60% off, a new all-time low, and yeah, and this one for sure stuck with me. There's very few games out there quite as weird, or I say it again, ambitious. And that is it. They still have plenty more on sale too, but these were the personal highlights for me. Think though titles like the mighty Mana Spark or Rhinelands, for example. Check out the website though, you'll find it in the pinned comment down below for all the details on all the sales, but of course the competitions too. Definitely enter them, they are completely free. With that then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.